I wasn't expecting to see this change. I think a week after we came back from Shanghai, Dior came to me and they told me that this is happening.
Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT America Stage 2. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied by Itopata of Leviatan, the new head coach for the team, who are coming off of an opening week victory over MIBR 2-0. And so, Itopata, thank you so much for taking the time, and congrats. A good way to start off this season with a W. But first and foremost, the usual question, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We've had like a long week of preparation, and you saw the result. We played pretty good in my opinion, and I'm really happy with that.
What was the team's general approach for a match like this? Against a team such as MIBR, who are coming in with two stand-ins and just having to work on that. What kind of adjustment do you guys have to make for that team in particular?
Uh, Honestly, there was no way we could make any adjustments. We didn't even know who we were gonna play against as players, so we just focused on playing our game and not overcomplicate stuff with anti-strat or anything like that.
It's just sort of going with the flow, just seeing what MIBR was kind of throwing upon you guys and talking about that. Of course, Ascent, first map, ISO, then dishing it out for that with for Paint. What was just the general reaction? How you guys kind of then work around that aspect?
Um, we kind of expected them to play ISO because obviously they're in a really bad position because they had two stand-ins. Ford was was telling me before the game when we were doing the video that he wasn't sure if he was playing. He got told he would play, then not play, then play again. So obviously they didn't have a lot of time to prepare. So ISO being the most broken agent in the game right now, we were expecting it. We had some adjustments in plan, and we just had to execute it properly.
Of course, there was the series what was started off on kind of equal footing, with and the first half in that first map, starting off in the 6-6 display. What were some of the biggest obstacles that you feel the team encountered during that initial stretch of the series, and then also how you guys kind of come out on top of that?
We just weren't following strategically and game plan wise. We weren't following the things that we said that we want to do, and I think that was due to the pressure of new. It's a new play style for us. So obviously there was a roster change, even if it was just the staff, and then new composition from them. Ascent wasn't one of our best map in the past, but now it's obviously better. So we just needed some time to adjust to everything that was new, every aspect that was new for us. And the moment we did that, things just fall into place. And for example, we had a really good attack half.
Yeah, and then the momentum just started from there all the way into the very end of the series in general. I want to
Yeah.
piggyback onto just the practice and everything before today. I talked to Aspas a little bit, and he mentioned about how he had a little bit of time just to get back into the same speed as the rest of the team, given the fact that he had to return due to visa issues at a very late time. And so, how did that kind of impacted the team's sort of preparation overall from your perspective?
Well, we had only 5 scrum days with him, and I think before that we played 2 days with a stand-in, which obviously didn't go as well because nobody is at Aspas level. So it wasn't going as well. But when Aspas came back, we had to prepare with a little bit longer days than usual, and obviously after that we had the media day. So it was a very exhausting week for us, which shouldn't be a case like going into the first game. The thing is the pressure we had from the time available. Yeah, that was something that we had to overcome.
Yeah, it definitely is good to have a player like us, supposed to just have him pop off, basically almost every single game, and he did exactly that, especially in that second map. Yeah, for sure. I now also want to just touch upon another topic for this conversation. Just going back into the moment in which Postmasters you were put into the head coach for Go-Kid. I mean, just talk to me about what that timeline was like for you, and then what was like your kind of reaction when the decision was made for you to now be the head coach of the squad.
Um, I wasn't expecting to see this change. I think a week after we came back from Shanghai, Dior came to me and they told me that this is happening. They told me like everyone's opinion and how everyone was feeling, and then when I heard everything, it kind of made sense that this change needs to happen. So I understood what they want to do and why they're doing it, and I think in the end everyone came out happier. Like all the sides of the from the team, even Goke, I think he was a little bit happier with the decision.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then was there like any kind of changes that you kind of put into the team? You know, now that you are on that position, you know, was there any change that you made, or was it kind of similar to just how Goku do it, how Goku did it, you know, and in doing so, the differences from that. What do you think has been the biggest thing that you had to make in just trying to lead this team at a different direction?
Um, yeah, so I wasn't really planning on taking the same route that Goke took. I kind of like did 180 of that, and I think one of the biggest changes, I'll say in another interview recently, I just want to see my players activated because we have five insane aimers. We have five really good players. I just want to see them play the game and have fun.
Well, what do you think led to just the team not reaching that kind of desired level that you mentioned, you know, before you started focusing on that aspect? You know, what do you think affected the team to such an extent that they weren't able to just kind of play at the level that you kind of expected them to do?
Yeah. Um, there was a lot of factors. Unfortunately, I can't really share most of them, but I think the biggest one was the loss in confidence from probably all of them. So there was a very big lack of confidence, which going into an international event, you cannot beat teams like Genji or Footballist who are insane mechanically, and you're kind of like scared to pick them, scared to take the name duel against them.
Yeah, like there's a question that kind of meant that Smix asked Calm in the post game interview, in the broadcast after you guys took down MIBR and just kind of moving on from that series against football is, you know, I do remember watching that series and just seeing how it played out. From your perspective, you know, how has a team kind of um absorbed this result, you know, taking in this result and then just moving on from that. Because I'm sure that, you know, losing out in Swiss Station, being eliminated at that stage is not what you guys expected to happen, right?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that there was a lot of talks after the game. Everyone got to say their opinion and what happened with Georg, and uh, I think after that, after the changes, we kind of like completely forgot this game. We just moved on because we knew that going into a new structure, a new play style, those things are not really gonna matter anymore. So we're just trying to start on a clean slate, or if that's how you say it.
Yeah, for sure, and it's definitely a good way for you guys to do that with this W going back into that. Not just focusing on Juvenile. You know, you brought him in, or more, yeah, maybe you brought him in as an assistant coach. You know, for this split. You correct me if I'm wrong there, but still, how is this? What's that? Just having him and just having him be your assistant. You know, what kind of ideas has he brought into the table that kind of then adds into what you guys are strategizing?
I worked with Juve in TSM before that, pre-franchise, and back then the roles were reversed. So he was the head coach, I was the assistant, and I knew back even from back then that we had a very similar view of the game, and I just wanted somebody that can support me into developing the play style. And I know that he's the right person for the job. In addition, he knows players like Corbin, Com. So that's a very big plus because he knows how to get the best out of those players already.
For sure, for sure. And now, as the team now focuses on the remainder of their schedule, you know, you got matches against 100 Thieves and then Evil Geniuses in Super Week. I mean, more so just looking how you guys going to approach those two matches for next weekend. What do you think is going to be the biggest thing that will, the biggest factor that will affect this team going forward?
Um, hmm, that's a good question. We haven't really like discussed 100 Thieves and EG and Loud yet. I think we're gonna have individual approach for all three of them. Obviously, there is a very clear structure of how I want to prepare the team before the game. I cannot disclose all of that, but yeah, it's not gonna be any different than other games, honestly.
No, for sure, for sure. And even so, hopefully we'll see a continuation of the momentum Leviatan has built today. Itopata, thank you so much for taking the time during this interview. Thank you so much for answering all of my questions. And of course, best of luck goes to you for the future.
Thank you, thank you.